a recent police action against sex workers picked up twice in separate incidences allegedly subjected to pushing and pulling during detention has sparked concerns. Authorities have justified the crackdown, citing a rise in HIV/AIDS cases along with complaints about their presence near the religious institutions during nighttime. However, the situation goes far beyond immediate law enforcement. A key legal reference remains the landmark ruling in Budhadev Karmaskar versus State of Bengal, where Supreme Court of India affirmed that sex workers are entitled to dignity and equal protection under the law. The court explicitly directed that the police must not harass, abuse individuals engaged in sex work. The recent visuals, however, raises a question about whether these directives are being practiced. Adding to the complexity in the absence of designated red light area in the region, unlike other states where such zones exist, the lack of structured space has led to scattered and often hidden operations. This increased vulnerability to exploitation while making it harder for the health workers to conduct outreach, particularly controlling HIV transmission. While the rise in HIV cases is a legitimate concern, public health experts argue that enforcement heavy approach may be counterproductive. Crackdown often drives sex workers underground, disrupt access to testing and treatment, weaken trust between vulnerable communities and authorities. Another critical gap is the absence of concrete rehabilitation policy. Without viable options, many remain trapped in this profession. Equally significant is the stigma attached to the sex workers. Social judgment and exclusion often ensure that even those who wish to leave the profession find no acceptance, no employment opportunities, and no support system. This stigma becomes a barrier as strong as poverty itself, locking many women into the cycle as they struggle to escape. The reasons women enter sex work are deeply rooted in social economic realities. Poverty, lack of education, single motherhood, domestic violence, abandonment, and in some cases, trafficking continues to push individuals into the trade as a mean of survival rather than choice. A balanced approach is urgently needed. Immediate steps could include sensitization of police personnel and improved healthcare access. Long-term solutions would require a structured rehabilitation framework backed by funding along with effort to reduce social stigma. The Social Welfare Department, in collaboration with medical and legal experts, must conduct a thorough survey to determine at least an approximate number of sex workers in the state. Each sex worker must be provided with a card similar to EPIC. This card will have a detail such as blood group and certification that the person is not HIV positive. There should be support for the children of sex workers too. At a time when Meghalaya takes pride in being a matrilineal society and inheritance are praised through women, this issue presents an opportunity to lead by example. Can the state extend that ethos of respect and dignity to all women, including those on the margins? For now, the crackdown highlights the larger truth. Removing visibility does not eliminate the problem. Without addressing root cause and social attitude, enforcement risk pushing an already vulnerable population further into shadows.